to Brazil. So we've driven a few hours outside of Belo to visit one of the emerald mines in Brazil. I am extremely excited to go down deep into the heart of the mines. In fact, we're going to be going down 257 meters. I'm with Tenor Denise. Tenor.
We find gems at very remote locations. Look where we are here. There's nothing surrounding us. Apart from that hole, some amazing gemstones and a great story to tell you guys when we come back.
Right, well, we might as well do it. I'm excited to get in there. The first corridor into the mine is not very tall, so we have to duck down and watch our heads as we approach our ride down. A cable, operated by a simple winch. Miners and special guests such as myself are lowered down in bundles of 3. We slip our legs through 2 loops that are similar to the seat of a swing. Then we hold on tight so we don't tumble backwards during our long descent into the emerald mine proper. It's a bit of a harrowing entrance, but I'm really excited to see what adventures await below. We're 257 meters below the surface in one of Brazil's emerald mines, and to be honest, it's pretty surreal. I'm covered in dirt and sparkle from all the different minerals. It's taken us 2 huge sort of shaft rides to get down here. It's exciting though. When we talk about coming direct, we literally come direct. A large bucket is sent down the track, and miners use shovels to fill it with the schist material from the mine. The bucket is then hoisted out of the mine on the same cable that lowered us in. And on the surface, they search the dark material for any signs of emerald rough. I just find it fascinating being here. You know, talk about emeralds being my favorite gemstone. I'm now in one of the mines that produces them.
What happened in this specific area that we're sitting is that they had a problem with the water pumping system. And when it flooded, it just collapsed this massive area that you see. So there's a lot of loose material on top there. And what happened when that material collapsed is that they actually found a lot of traces that we are looking for when you're hunting for emerald underground.
But we were talking before, Tenors. Explain the signs of finding the emerald.
You have here what we call the schist line. And more important is inside the schist line, it always needs to have the tremolite, which is a formation for the schist that actually produces the emeralds.
Okay, and so we keep seeing them like banging rocks together.
Okay.
Why are they?
We can show. What I do is, okay, they take this is the schist, right? They go like, break. Oh, sorry. This here, sir, you see inside the schist, you can find minerals. In this case, was quartz. Maybe here, next case could be a massive emerald.
Once we'd had our fun in the emerald mine, it was time to ride the winch back to the surface, where Tenor and I made our fashionable exit back into the sunlight. After a long, hard day's work, the miners cook us all a local delicacy, while we marvel at emerald specimens. Tenor converses with the mine owners, then closely examines the rough they've discovered only the best will do for Shop LC.
When we're checking for emeralds, we're looking for the right quality. We would not accept nothing less than the best that that specific mine produces. I just passed through around 1.5 kilos of rough material that took them pretty much 40 days to produce that amount. The key characteristics that we're looking, number 1 is crystallization. Number 2, lack of crack in the material. And number 3, and most important, the amazing color.
So I'm here with the emerald mine owners, Celia and Hay. And they are super awesome. They've let us come to their mine. These guys have been operating this mine for about 32 years. This area that we're in, there's many different little independently run mines, so everything is really hands-on. Now, they hit the jackpot 15 years ago and they managed to get 2,000 kilos of emerald. But honestly, just day after day, it's a grind. In 6 months, they've barely managed to pull anything out. And it's just a great experience to be here to show you that we really mean it when we say we go direct. Can't get more direct than this. Plus the fact that we hand pick the stones for you, and that's what Tenor is doing, just to make sure that we're always bringing the best quality to you. After bidding farewell, it's time to hit the road again and continue deeper into Minas Gerais and onward to Governador Valadares.
The emerald mining is unique in itself. Actually, this starts with exploration, identifying the area where there is a probability of getting the gemstone emerald. The geology is quite complicated, and this starts with the exploration.
This emerald mining is a bit tricky if you think about geology, and geology itself is very vast subject. The role of geology is a bit vital over in this company. You need to be very specific what we are doing, which material you are mining, whether it's completely waste or it belongs to the proper ore which goes to the washing plant.
It's a collective responsibility when you're doing the mining. The biggest hassle or the biggest problem is the waste removal. There's just too much waste to remove and handle.
You need to be very specific to reach into that zone where we find the emerald. So it involves a lot of science, a lot of labor, like we do XRFs, we find, we follow some elements where the chances of having emeralds are higher.
Our stripping ratio is 85. 85 stripping ratio means when we remove the 85 tons of waste, we get the 1 ton of ore which contains the emerald, and in 1 ton we get only 300 carats. So if you say that once we remove the 85 tons of waste, we get only the 300 carats of emerald barrel, and out of that 300 carats, 0.5% is of premium quality, is premium grade, and 26 which is of commercial grade. So you can see that how much investment is being done to get that 0.5%.
What happens is that the material which comes from the pits, suspected to contain some emerald material, is brought to this area where we stockpile it depending on the area where it's coming from. And so is the treatment of the same material. What we normally do is just to bring the big material, we feed it, then we crush it and wash it, and then we pick. That's what these guys are doing right behind me.
At Kagem, we take safety as a value. A lot of people like to say safety is a priority, but here we take it more than just a priority, it's a value, and as such, before anyone does anything, the first thing they have to consider is their safety. So for them to make sure that they do their job right, we have a strong emphasis on hazard identification. So prior to doing a task, you look at what could go wrong with regards to safety, and then you'll assess the level of risk that is attached to that activity, and then you put in place control measures, and you constantly monitor how effective these control measures are, and that in itself is a cycle that assists us in making sure that everyone is being kept safe, everyone is aware of the hazards that are in their work environment, and measures have been put in place to control those hazards.